You may remember that in our last episode, we built this epic fuel factory, which at peak efficiency should be producing us 5,100 megawatts, thanks to all 34 of these generators, and we do have room to expand later on. Now that I've actually built this and we have a lot more overhead, I'm really not sure what to do. I'm kind of spoilt for choice. If we head back to the base, we could either work on our copper, we could work on the storage system, but if we have that, then we're going to want to really work on a train system to connect the two areas up. Let's just make sure that we land it just here nicely. Balls. Well, I guess that kind of tells me exactly what I need to do this time round. I think what we want to be doing is working on a train system that takes us from here in our little section of the map all the way along here through this canyon and then over to the oil area here. So I think that is a good plan for today. Step 1 is going to be building the base for the train stations, which I think should be just in this spot of the dune desert. And with that in mind, we should probably connect the steel station up with this train station, as that will eventually drop the resources off and go towards the storage area, which I imagine would be really nicely placed just here where the old starter factory is. Step 3 will be to connect the space elevator factory, which has a load of coal, to the actual coal power plant and take any extra coal that we need there, because potentially we will expand it further. Step 4 will be to connect this area up with a train station so that we can go back and forth, and then eventually we will actually work on it and make it a logistic hub for the resources here. And then finally, step 5 will be to build the train station and make it look pretty here, ready for the storage facility, which we'll probably do next. This does mean the first thing that we need to do is unlock the train technology, or the monorail. There we go. That's one thing out the way. The first thing that we're going to want to do is build a station here. Now this is going to connect up this factory with our new, or soon to be new, train station. So let's grab ourselves one of these. Also, if you do want me to do an updated guide on trains, oh dear. As I was saying, if you do want me to do another guide on trains, do let me know. I think this time we'll actually cover this will be a push-pull system, but the train system that we'll have will definitely be a right-hand drive this time, because so many people complained about my trains being left-hand sided last time. But anyway, this is going to connect over there, so I'll be back once this is done, because it's going to be a bit boring otherwise. And here we are. We're just going to run this around, and you see here, just a quick tip. You don't want to be trying to go straight from a curve that's this sharp. So what you want to do is just place the straight piece of track first. I swear it won't work. There we go. And from here, we're going to do the same. We do these braces, and this will allow us to have a much cleaner line when it comes to building. There we go. And here you can see the steelworks is connected with a train station, which is running a push-pull system all the way to the starter base, where this train station will be placed parallel to that factory. A good question is, why is the train station going to be placed in this section here? Well, we've got plenty of room to expand, which is really important to bear in mind when you are building factories in Satisfactory. They're always going to grow bigger. So by having the train station in the center area where there's plenty of room to expand both north, south, and to the west, east even, we're going to have plenty of room to expand should we need to. It's going to make it nice and easy. But we do need to sort out where the foundations for that are going to be so that we can start placing the rails next. What a wonderful day to be working. I mean, it's absolutely tipping it down out here. But not to let that worry us. We have our first station, and we're going to do something a little bit fancy with this later on. And we're going to run a couple more. Oh yeah, I'm out of resources. Why do I always record when I'm out of resources? Anyway, we're going to place another train station down here and another one there. And then we'll have this line heading down to here and hopefully connecting onto here, replacing the horrible Hypertube network, which I'm just, it's not that I'm against Hypertube. No, I'm against it. I don't enjoy using them. So we're going to remove them and we're going to replace them with trains. Something cool that was brought to my attention in our streams, because of course this is where we do all of our work for the save, was that if we placed the foundations, if we go here, 3 meters high, as you can see here, they will actually be in line with the door for the train. So if that's something, ooh, don't fall down the gap. If that's something you want to do, it's 3 meters above this. And I love that we've added the quarter pipe here. Just nicely fits the line in between it. And then what we've done this side is we've got our resources coming down the middle. We've got a glass top, so we should be able to see them if we're concentrating. And then the other train station. And what I want to do would be to have some pillars going up either side of these. In fact, we can just do it like that. And then in between, but to give you an idea, I would love to place some signs vertically going up. And we'll do that on each of these sections. That could look pretty cool. And I'm going to make it so that all of the exits have these tunnel features to them, because it looks good. I love it. I have no idea what I'm doing with this station. We're going to build it as we go along, but I don't want to spend too much time focused on this. I do want to go out and start working on the actual train line first, so we have that done, and then obviously this is the final step, sorting this build out. This is pretty much the best thing to happen. I am so glad to be removing this after all this time. Of course, we do need to somehow get the line to connect up to that. And that over there is where we're going to be placing the next station. I'm definitely going to have to double up this line. I'm well aware of that. I think what we're going to do is have this as the return line, so that the train will be heading along this way. So we're going to need another one parallel to this. That is right-hand drive. Yes. For a second then I thought I naturally went back to my left-hand drive tendencies. But we need to cross this area now. And then I think over here we'll probably try and give it a bit of a support using maybe these, I want to say. I'm not going to be able to do it now. No! Basically, like that all the way along. And then some kind of foundation above it, just to make sure that it's got something flat to be on. Anyway, I need to get back up there and I need to do the rest of this line. And here we are. This is the line heading all the way back, and you can see we've done the support and we've added the glass roof tiles here. It's surprisingly compact, so it really does work for these triangle foundations. And if we continue the line all the way down to here, you can see we've also placed a little station. This is going to collect all of the coal. And the reason why is because I was asked in a previous video why I placed this bus line there and destroyed a beautiful jungle. Well, I'm going to remove that for you. I'm going to place all of the coal in this train station, and we're just going to ship it off just across to there. Hopefully that will run. I'm still playing with the overall feel of this as well. So I've added a little entrance. I don't think we're going to work on this anytime soon because we've got bigger fish to fry, but I've also done a little tunnel here, which I think looks really nice. And as we drive along, you can see these lights turning green. Those are just Hypertube entrances. So all you need to do is place one of them down. You'll notice, depending on your proximity, it will either go red or green. And I think that kind of looks cool. You know, just sliding through and the lines are going green. And of course we have a red line here. I've also added a line here. I don't know if we can get the trains to avoid going through the train station if they're not, if they want to skip this. Hopefully it will just run around here, and that way if we have a train here, it's not going to interrupt in the system. And then up here, we've run a line all the way up. If you want to know how I've done these curves, by the way, you can see we've got some beautiful ones here, then do check out the video that I've done recently. Actually, it's not that recent, but I have got one. I will put that in the top right-hand corner now. And here, we're going to be placing the next train station, which is going to then drop off all of the coal before running all the way along here. Hopefully it will look in place. You know, I don't want it just to span across and just look out of place. We want it to kind of blend, maybe not blend in, but certainly look like it fits in within the environment. And here we have the train line going through. I think it looks all right. We've also added the supports into the canyon. I'm hoping by using the frames alongside the concrete, it makes it look more like they're trying to support it from the stonework rather than just running concrete all the way through. And whilst we're at it, I've also run this line all the way down the side. I'm trying to hug the cliffside as much as possible so that we're not using lots of supports sticking out, though we will need to support this track. And you can see that my build train is just stuck down there. The idea is that it will wrap around. Wait, why am I saying this? Let's just show you. The plan is to use the terrain here. So this is why it's going through along the side and then through this, I don't know. I don't want to say it's a cave, but if you have like cliffs, I don't know. If you have any words for it, do let me know. And then it will make the turn around here past the waterfall, and the plan is for it to go across to this little rocky outcrop before circling down and into that area alongside the battery farm which we have here. And there we are. Nothing special at all at this point. We just need it so that the train can go back. Speaking of which, train, would you like to go back? Perfect. Actually, I kind of need to catch that one. I'll see you back at base. And welcome back. Well, this is what I've been working on. So we have the front kind of facade of the train station. So what my plan is, kind of, if we run that across all the way, gonna have to delete them. I think we're going to need to get some of those new half foundations. I've actually found a use for them. Fantastic. You know what? I really need to unlock the jetpack, I think, at this stage. We might run and do that in a moment. From here, we are going to place that down here and that one across there. And we now have this kind of archway, which I think looks kind of cool. And we'll just add these and kind of fill this out. So I think my problem is that I never plan things in advance, especially when it comes to the aesthetics. And so I have good ideas and then I mix them with bad ones and then I'm not happy and I tend to tear them down, or I just settle for it as is. I'm hoping that I have a good idea for the top, because otherwise I'm worried it's gonna just look like a face. All right, I've been working on the levels. You'll see in a moment. I've really been struggling, so I've decided to unlock finally the jetpack. So over here, if we just jump over, you can see how I'm playing with the levels once again. We've got different depth, so we have higher pieces, lower pieces, and these are kind of like a grating. I've also done the lighting here, and you can see how we've kind of given this a border, but really the coup de théâtre, as they would say, probably using that word wrong. I don't speak French, is the front there. I'm just loving how that looks currently. And if we fly for a moment, you can see how we've started to place the signs across the top. I'm spending a lot of time on the detail here, but I am really happy with it. And the way that we've done this is by placing a beam along the top, and then I've also added, I think this just looks quite nice, having a little bit of extra detail. From here, with these beams being placed, we can then place on them, these signs. And my plan eventually is to create a gradient so that it goes from this bright orange all the way to the end into a bit of a more red kind of like tint to it. You can see we've also done the similar lines up along both of these side towers. It's still not right. There is something missing, and I think it's the roofs. And then there's also something along the sides that we need to do with the walls to really make it stand out. And I am so happy with how this has turned out. We've actually mimicked this on the other side with a slight difference, but we have the entrance there, which opens as the train comes. We've got a little bit of lighting on the go, and then we have a mixture of the white wall followed by, you might be able to see it here, the metal pillar, which adds a bit of depth. Then we have the glass wall and the metal wall followed by the concrete wall, and then we've used those big foundations, the hefty chunky ones, to give this a bit more character to it. So here we have the other side, and I'm pretty happy with it. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done, but with us having a train that's coming through into the station and it's not on the same grid, it makes it quite difficult to work it around, especially when it's trying to blend in with the grid on the way into the train station. So we're going to leave a bit of a hole here. I'm going to patch it up a little bit more, but you can see how we've done the similar kind of approach with the wall style and also the grating along the top. I think we just about got the idea for the roof. So we have this, it's slightly sloped, but it's actually flat on top. And then we're going to have little gaps along the side. Okay, so now that we've got the resources all bussed to here, or what will be the resources, this is going to run all the way to the top. And then from here, we're going to grab our barrier, and then we need to grab a glass window using the middle mouse button. We're going to then run this all the way to the top like so, and run these all the way to the top. We'll do this on the other side, followed by this up there as well. And we'll also add some beams, maybe just in that section there. Just to give the eye a little bit more detail to look at. And I think that is pretty nice. And then from here we have all the resources running along the top. We've given ourselves plenty of room. We've got room for this to expand should we need to. We could lift this up a level and have another line underneath, but it's going to bring all the resources this way along with the one to the left, which isn't finished yet. And the plan would then be to run all of the resources probably out of here, and the resources will come down and then out this way. I'm really liking how this is coming along. Obviously, if you do want to check out this build yourself, you can do. It's available to all of our patrons, so anyone who joins our Patreon will get access to this save, and we update this every month, so do check that out if you want to support the channel. And I should mention that all the support at the moment is going to help me get my fiance across to the UK. So we're currently in Mexico. I just proposed to her last week. We'll make an official video about this, I think. But we now need to get married and from there get a visa sorted. So all of the support is greatly appreciated at the moment. I did want to point out this though, before we finished off this video. I'm loving the line of light, which kind of goes along with the theme of the train station. Then we have all the resources, and underneath we do still have the hypertube. I'll probably remove it eventually, but all of this is running across and will then eventually, in the next episode, I hope, come to a resource like central storage facility, which will be placed directly here. I'm sorry if this video feels like we're cutting out a lot, but it's such a big build that it's really difficult to show it all piece by piece. That being said, if you do want to see that, you can join me in my live streams, or you can check out the More Total VOD channel, where this will be uploaded in a week or two. But guys, we are going to finish it there. Obviously, if you did like this build, do let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to drop a thumbs up. It really is appreciated. Special thanks does go to all of our amazing supporters on Patreon, most notably our Solar Eclipse patrons, James Irwin, Firefless, and our Lunar Eclipse patrons, The Calamity, Ben, and Star, as well as our Blood Moon of the day, which today is the City Rat. Until next time, As always, ciao for now.